A sketch of the life of Okah Tubbee by Laah Ceil, Manatoi, Elaah. Okah Tubbee was known by the name of his master, Warner McCarry, when he was born to a slave in Natchez, Mississippi, around 1810. Tubbee later denied that she was his real mother. When his mother and brothers were set free, he found himself enslaved to his own family. Tubbee's time lineage remains unknown, but some scholars have questioned his self-asserted native ancestry. It is also unclear when Warner McCarry began to use the name Okah Tubbee, but as a young man he went by various names: James Warner, William McCarry, and simply Carey. In 1843, aided by local whites who believed him to be a Native American, Warner McCarry received a permit to reside in Mississippi as a free person of color. He got out of Natchez in 1844, playing the flute in the local militia as well as the saucepan and the musical tomahawk, and made a contact with nearby Choctaw Indians. With his wife, the author of this book, Laah Ceil, Manatoi, Elaah, Dr. Okah toured the major cities of the East, where he captured audiences with his music and stories and promises of medical miracles until he met misfortune and disappeared into the mists of time. Tubbee's tale begins with his lazy recollections of being transferred from his father to a white man. As a child, Tubbee claims to have demonstrated the character of a red man by insisting upon either cleanliness or nakedness, by his natural talent at fishing, and by courageously defending himself against various insults. Tubbee casts himself as a victim of the slave woman whom Natchez residents believe is his mother, describing how she takes the money he earns by catching fish to purchase clothes. As a child, Okah Tubbee runs away from home and goes to work at a brick kiln for several weeks before he is returned to his unnatural mother. Not long afterward, he goes to work for Dr. A.P. Merrill, a sergeant in the U.S. Army who treats him well. However, when a jealous white boy calls him a nigger, Tubbee smashes his face with a brick and is subsequently imprisoned. After being imprisoned, Tubbee leaves Natchez for New Orleans in 1837, going to work at a foundry and eventually becoming 5th Major for the Washington Battalion. He concludes his narrative by noting his newfound prosperity. This biography, a sketch of the life of Okah Tubbee, is a most remarkable document in a striking contrast to the main body of antebellum black literature. Okah Tubbee's familiarity with Indian as well as black and white sphere of society provides a perspective rarely seen in American historiography. The editor of this edition, Mr. Litfield Jr., in his introduction is the first to trace Tubbee's real identity. He also discusses the phenomenon of blacks who tried to pass as white or Indian in the Old South, and the situation of black slaves owned by free blacks, the Native American tribes of the United States of America. Thanks for watching.